Welcome back, everybody. Let's rock and roll. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another live show. Your daily shows where I bring you the most important, the biggest news, the best projects in the crypto space. Because I've been in space for a long time, and I feel like I've got a good idea on what the hell is going on in the markets. My goal is to educate you guys, get feedback from you guys, and build the best community in crypto. And this song I just wanted to play because it came free on my Rodecaster Pro, and it's fun. And I used to do it too. Throwback. Can you somebody mute this thing? Sorry, my own. What the fuck is going on here? Sorry. Jesus. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Why is that even open, by the way? Oh, okay. All right. Learning how. Still production problems. That's fun. Okay. That's real fun. Okay. Welcome everybody. We got Gianfranco, Crypto Lander. What's up? I like that you're still showing love to Crypto Landers. There was a tremendous amount of retarded, stupid FUD about the project. Really bothers me when a bunch of idiots come out and make really disgusting claims. And so thank you guys, those of you who are supporting Cryptoland and realize that there's a bunch of idiots out there talking crap about something that they have no idea about. So use what's happening? Crypto Nuts, what up? Stubbs in the house. Ashataya 20 UG, what up? Johnny Sama, and a lot of familiar names in here. Mike Sweet, Alberto Leatherface, Miran Berzan, Farzan Dot, another Neo Tokyo citizen in the house. What's happening? Anders, what up, Anders? How we doing on recruiting? Anders is our head of HR and recruiting. So if you are looking to join the Master Ventures team, he's the one to speak to. Or paid team or whatever. Vinay Singha, a lot of familiar names, guys. Thank you for being loyal and tuning in. Appreciate it. Even though we haven't dialed in the exact time yet that the show will be every single Monday through Friday. And let's see, Naveen, Chiran, everybody, welcome. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Where in the world are you? What kind of global audience do we have? I think America is, well, maybe start sleeping depending on how much of an early riser you are. Stock markets are opening in 1 minute, guys. What do you think is going to happen? The markets are pumping today in anticipation of Jerome Powell making an announcement. Is he going to hike up interest rates today out of the blue? Is he going to postpone them, kick the can down the road a bit longer, which I hope that he does. Who knows? But we got the if you look at the investing.com, which I always just kind of check out to get a high level overview of the traditional markets, it's looking pretty positive, right? Looking pretty positive in the futures. And let's see when it opens up. We'll still have 1 more minute. We'll come back and check it out in a bit. But yeah, today we are, which actually we're also still trying to figure out what kind of themes we're going to do on different days. And so today it's layer ones and layer twos and protocols after we cover some, market prices, market news, sentiment, stuff like that. And of course, always like to see the comments and things like that. We got Wisconsin in the house, Singapore, Russia, Belgium. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Wisconsin, USA, currently negative 12 degrees. You should come out to Thailand, Mike. It is the weather temperature here is just perfect. 1:30 a.m. at Melbourne. Thanks for staying up late for me. Yeah, Shop X will shock everyone in the next 1 to 2 months. Pack your bags. I agree. I talked to Cyrus, the founder of ShopX. huge things in the works and just been heads down building. Ethiopia in the house. What's happening? Austria, amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in from all around the globe. We got 64 watching, 33 likes. That's pretty good, pretty good. But what other 33 of you guys? Can you just do me a favor and just tap on that like button, please? We are gonna explode this channel, and as we succeed, we grow. You guys are too. Again, Copenhagen, what's happening? What part of Copenhagen, by the way? I lived there for 4 years. And yeah, so anyway, guys, let's jump into this. So let's first thing. It's very nice. Let me share my screen right here. Actually, Mike, as a producer, can you do stuff like this for me, or do I have to do it? Like share screen. When I say share screen and not share screen, shouldn't that be your job? Sorry, we're still trying to I'm still trying to build this relationship between Mike and me, and how it works. Okay, show this screen. Okay, all right. So here's the charts right now, looking pretty pumpy, right? And like that's nice. It's still, you know, quite a ways down from, but at least we broke up, you know, with such a huge, massive dump, you know, from all-time highs. And then this one right here, which just completely came down. It's inevitable that it's going to bounce back, right? Because we're not going into, please don't spam the chat. You could just say it once, you know, or maybe if I don't answer or talk about it, maybe you could just like say it a few minutes later. Yash, I'm going to call you out, Yash fast. Spamming. Yash, knock it off. You don't have to hide him. Just give him a little warning. He gets his timeout. Put him on timeout. And timeout, Yash. Okay, so looking good. 38,331 for Bitcoin. I'm telling you, it feels a whole lot better than 32,000. That's for sure. And you know, the altcoin markets are responding appropriately as well. We're covering some of this losses that we had, and you know, some of the altcoins are back at kind of you know, break even before this whole plummet right here. So as we know, you know, Bitcoin kind of leads the way, and then the altcoins follow, and they fall and rise a lot harder than Bitcoin does as well. So let's get into some of the news, some of the macro news. So Edward Snowden here, or just okay. Sorry, this one I added the last second, so I didn't have my notes on it. I didn't actually even read it, but all I needed to see was the headlines, right? The IMF, International Monetary Fund, basically a bunch of people who really don't want to lose control of the US dollar and all the money and power of the world. They threatened, or I'm sure urge is probably a politically correct word that they used to threaten El Salvador to remove Bitcoin as legal tender. This guy is like, yo, I'm the president, bitch. You ain't the president. Don't tell me what to do in my own country. You know, that's what he's saying. This guy, was he 35 years old, just walks up on stage with a backwards hat and all like unbuttoned shirt. This is how I want to see someone who's in charge of our governance presenting himself, right? Like, so I don't even have to read this to tell you this guy's going to tell the IMF to go F off, and the IMF's going to complain and threaten him some more, and whatever, right? But he doesn't have to care, because in the next 10 years, El Salvador will have enough money to where they don't have to care about it, and they can stop using the US dollar, and they can just use Bitcoin within the country. What a great idea that is, right? They're mining Bitcoin, buying the dips. Very, very, very smart moves. So on the note of the IMF, we have Edward Snowden coming in here, and this is kind of the same thing, but I just like how he says, somebody sounds nervous, and this is what I talk about all the time, guys, is the powers that be, the elite, the you know, these guys that essentially appointed the US dollar as the world reserve currency, and you know, using that to control different countries, and just really like El Salvador, like El Salvador, you know what El Salvador's currency was before Bitcoin? It was the dollar. It's ridiculous, right? So like, It's ridiculous. So they it's not like El Salvador has their own money printer like the United States, right? So they're really at the whim of the United States. If they need a loan or something, they have to borrow it from you. It's total crap. Like, of course, El Salvador doesn't want to use the US dollar. Of course, they'd much rather use Bitcoin. And the only reason the president came out and said, whoa, hold up. We're not replacing the US dollar with Bitcoin. We're just adding it in addition to. But of course, his goal is to replace the US dollar. Of course, and so does every other country that is expected to hold huge US dollar reserves in their treasury for things like trading, oil is priced in dollars, and blah, 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 blah. It's just, you know, so yeah, of course, the IMF is nervous. Of course, the big central banks are nervous. Of course, you know, everybody's nervous. Bitcoin is starting to make tremendous traction. And at first, they thought there's no way this thing is gonna do anything, right? No way this magic internet money is actually going to become a world reserve currency. And then it is, right? And then it is. El Salvador leading the pack, and what was it? One of these island nations, Palapau, whatever it was. They also announced that they were going to, I think, they had a bill about to be proposed to become U.S. or legal tender. And of course, a small island nation like this, I'm pretty sure like one or two people call the shots around there. So maybe having the bill proposed was just a presentation of some type of democracy. But at the end of the day, like there's very, very few people in a small island like that actually making decisions. And so I am almost positive it will get adopted there as well. That would be another country, and we're expected to see 2 or 3 more countries at least this year making Bitcoin a national legal tender. So yeah, this is just another tweet from Will Clemente, quite bullish that they take Bitcoin that seriously and are worried about the domino effect of nation state adoption. Yes, it is going to be a domino effect 100%. Big on DOT for the long run. Yep. Me too. We're actually going to get into some DOT in this in a little bit. Oh, and guys, also stay tuned until the end. We are doing NFT giveaway of a project that has it comes from a similar type of respected artist and creator as the dude who created the Artifact NFT line. So like same kind of street cred, same type of popularity. This guy, the one is from Japan. And so I expect that these will perform extremely well, just like Artifact did. And how much are we giving away? 3 of these things, man. 3. And the Artifact ones, I'm not saying that this is going to be an Artifact, but Artifact floor, like quickly after the launch, was 5 or 6 ETH, right? So that's not bad. So I'll tell you how to participate and how to potentially win one of these NFTs toward the end. And let's get back into the next piece of news. Talking about Bored Apes, right? And we know that celebrities are buying up Bored Apes like crazy. We know Eminem got one recently. Kevin Hart just got one yesterday, a day before. We know Paris Hilton has one. Jimmy Fallon. We've got look, this is Kevin Hart's. Wait, I can't show you. Hold on, let me drag it on this screen over here. Boom. There. Yeah, so this is he does, yeah. That's cool. This thing in the way, I have no idea how to get rid of that. Anyway, yeah, so Eminem got him. Yeah, Paris has got Jimmy Fallon. All kinds of what's going on? All kinds of artists or celebrities getting into the Bored Apes. And with Bored Apes, the floor price, or the average sale price of Bored Apes have gone up 18 ETH in the past 3 days, I believe. Yeah, in the past 3 days, the average sale price of Bored Apes have gone up 18 ETH. Insane. So obviously Bored Apes with a floor price of around 93 ETH or whatever right now, is obviously priced out for a lot of people. On yesterday's show, we talked about the fact that the founding company of Bored Apes is now raising money at a valuation of $5 billion. And so, right now, actually, if we look at Mutant Ape Collection, maybe this is going to be something that, I know it's not cheap even for the floor price, but maybe it is something that is more possible. Damn, even a 20 ETH floor price for Mutant Apes. That's insane. I bought the 89th most rare Mutant Ape. Oh God, it wasn't even that long ago, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. It was the 89th most rare one, and it's awesome. And it was only, I think it was like 14.5 ETH or something like that. So this is going insane. So if this, and keep in mind, this has all gone on when crypto has just been in a free fall. And what we've seen actually is that we seem to see that NFTs and tokens are fairly like uncorrelated. They actually seem to go on opposite cycles, while tokens plummeting, NFTs skyrocketing. And guys, NFTs obviously are here for the long run. No, Bored Apes are not 18 ETH. Zogurt Crypto, that's Mutant Apes, are 19.8 ETH. Oh, 18 ETH. No, increase. Yes. You're right. Sorry. Bored Apes NFT, not a patch on Master Ventures t-shirt. Dude, so for one of my Bored Apes, I'll show it to you guys in one of these shows coming up. I really love my ape, but the background was like gray or something like that, right? Super boring. And so what I did when I was in Koh Phi Phi, one of the bordering islands a few weeks ago, I was just walking by on my way to dinner, and I saw this art shop, and this guy had some apes, not Bored Apes or anything like that, but just some apes that he had drawn with these sick backgrounds, really sick backgrounds, like kind of like almost splattered paint on there. And so I just pulled up my phone. I said, "Hey man, here's my my ape. Can you please draw my ape with a cool background?" And he did. And he sent it to me recently. I just got it. It looks way better with this sick background. I will show it to you guys. So I got it painted on a big canvas. I got to frame it, and I'll put it up somewhere. Kyle, are you checking out Play to Earn NFT gamification like Creeps? And this is also like Wolf Game, right? I haven't actually checked out that stuff. I have been kind of I got into into like minting and NFTs for a little bit there, and for me, like it really seems to be like a flipping game, right? We haven't seen too many NFT collections become blue chips, and for me myself, I don't have time to really flip NFTs, because if you hold on to them, like I said yesterday in the video, it really comes down to what kind of value the community can offer. And oh, look at Eminem's NFT. Looks yeah, no, I mean, it's Eminem. So yeah, so yeah, you guys ask me about the NFTs, but we are gonna have NFT NF Thursdays, probably is one of the name of the show. Isn't Thursdays Crypto Connoisseurs? Nah, I don't like that. We'll figure it out. So moving on a bit here. Let's see. So yeah, so we got the let's see. Okay, here's Kevin Hart's. Yeah, okay. I dragged that down already. Bye-bye, Kevin Hart. Yeah, here's the NFT that we are giving away. So it's created by a collaboration between this guy Hiroshi and Mark Gonzalez. And Hiroshi is the godfather of streetwear, right? So he makes like dope ass streetwear. And Mark Gonzalez is like the godfather of street skateboarding. And so they came together to make an NFT collection. And honestly, I don't know too much more about it, but maybe something to check out. I think that they have the pre-sale tomorrow, I believe, in the public mint. I don't know, a couple days after, something like that. But in the description below, or maybe Mike will throw it in the comments right now, but definitely in the comments below. We'll put the link to this so you guys can go check it out. If it is anything like Artifact, it should be pretty impressive. And I heard there's a lot of authentic hype starting to build on this project too, right? So also yesterday, I kind of told you guys a little bit about, what you should be looking at when considering purchasing an NFT for any other purposes other than flipping, like a long-term store of value. Yeah. Okay. So YouTube head of gaming Ryan Watt to resign and join Polygon Studios as CEO. That's cool. Basically, YouTube gaming global head. He just said, well, actually, Polygon, because their market cap is so tremendously huge, these guys have like a bottomless budget when it comes down. And this is the nice thing about, typically in a crypto token project, they'll sell in private sales or public sales, whatever, a total of the token supply somewhere between 8 and maybe 30%. And then, between team and advisors, usually about 15 to 20%. And then the rest of the token supply, so whatever's left over, is typically kept by the team treasury for different purposes, whether it's like reserves, whether it's marketing, whether it's rewards, whatever the case may be. But the fact of the matter is that about 50% of the tokens usually are in the hands of the project in a treasury to be used to do something. So imagine if the fully diluted valuation of a project like Polygon, I don't know what Polygon is right now, but I think it's around somewhere in the 18, I don't know. It's above 10 billion, that's for sure. And so their treasury would be worth billions and billions of dollars. So of course, you build the most badass team that you can, and you poach the best employees that you can, because you really have to have the best of the best. It's disrupting a legacy system. It has to be 10 times better than the thing it's trying to disrupt for people to actually make the jump from what they're comfortable to the new thing. So that means whatever you're building, whatever you're trying to do, can't just be a little bit better than the thing that people are used to. For example, like if you wanted to disrupt TikTok, right? And I get pitched a lot of desocialized social media platforms, and it's, even though decentralized social media makes a lot of sense, right? You can do all kinds of cool stuff: creator tokens, social tokens, tipping people, incentivizing, the most popular or most informative kind of tweets or knowledge, and also censorship resistant. You could do things like community moderation, DAO structures. It makes a lot of sense. But when I get pitched a decentralized social media play that has a goal of, basically becoming another TikTok or Twitter or whatever, like I have to take a look at that and say, does this seem 10 times better than what we're currently using? And maybe for social media, it's even more. Maybe it's 20 times, because content creators want to be on the platform with the biggest audience, right? If you're spending all this time making content, you want to be able to have an audience. And so it's just very, very hard. And so projects need to hire the best of the best. And this is what Polygon has been doing for a while now. This is not the first all-star hire. They've been doing it back to back to back to back. Pramish, hey Kyle, can I get an internship at your firm as a Rust developer? Are you a Rust developer? If yes, then probably. If you're a good developer, you definitely probably can. Let's see, who do you contact? Well, Anders is Rust. You mean Rust? Don't worry, that's Mike. I know how to spell Rust. There we go. Okay, so yeah, Anders is in the chat somewhere. I don't know if Anders can like pop in his or Mike. Mike will share Anders' Telegram or email here, and then you can message him. And for any job inquiries, we're looking for researchers. We're still looking for front-end devs. We're looking for just general badasses for things like obviously, okay, but You could also go, yeah, they'll handle it. Okay, moving on. All right, next up, what do we have? Okay, yes. So YouTube, bye-bye head of gaming, but YouTube hints at potential NFT features. So when, okay, so this just says YouTube is bringing NFT features, right? It doesn't hint at something without doing it, right? They just means that they're not ready for the full announcement yet, but they do this intentionally just to leak things to get the rumor mill spreading. And I think, you know, this is probably right around price earnings, and they probably want to, you know, boot, like, this is, it's coming, it's definitely coming. I don't have the I'm not sure if it's interesting or not, but Mike, maybe you can try to find this article real quick, because I didn't read it yet, but I know that I'm very curious why Elon Musk slammed Twitter for doing the NFTs as profile pictures. I just saw this headline because I'm sure that if that's the case, then Elon Musk must probably slam YouTube too for creating. I don't even know why he's doing it. Come on, I mean, he's a Doge believer. But NFTs, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, they're all going to do it. And every business, if you guys have ever watched Gary Vee, how passionately he talks about NFTs, every single business is going to integrate NFTs. It's inevitable. And that's why NFTs will be used and massively adopted before tokens will be, because it just you don't have to, like, it's not so different for us, right? We're all used to digital collectibles, video games, things like that. Okay, so everyone wants to know about what does Michael Saylor have to say about his buy price of a Bitcoin, because I think his average buy-in price was somewhere around like $32,000 or something like that as average. And so at the bottom, you know, when we dip to the bottom, this is like right around Michael Saylor's buy-in price, and so everyone's like, oh, if it goes way down below that, like everyone's going to be all scared about the fact that you know, he's losing money now or whatever. But come on, it's gonna be ridiculous. Like, you think Michael Saylor has paper hands? Hell no. He's got diamond hands. He's the guy just collecting. This guy's got like, MicroStrategy has like 180,000 Bitcoin or something insane like that. He's going to be a trillionaire in the next. MicroStrategy will be a trillionaire in the next 10 years. If I bought stocks, I would definitely buy MicroStrategy. I just don't buy stocks because they're old and boring and slow and stupid. Hey Kyle, what up? What do I think about interest rates? I think the entire monetary policy of the fiat world is broken. You know, but I mean, interest rates, it's a pretty broad question, right? Like I talked about on the show yesterday that that we were going to do a little bit of discussion about, you know, being able to use your crypto as collateral and take out loans. And of course, you have to pay interest rates on that. But as far as interest rate hikes that are coming up, I don't know. If I told you, if I told you one way or another, I would be lying to you. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. And it's funny because it seems to me like there's no way that that because of the money printing that's happened, there's no way, never, ever could the United States ever pay back how much money they printed, their loans that they've been taking out, the debt that they're in. There's just no way. So why do you even try to do it now? You know, like what for? I guess the only reason would be to hedge inflation, right? And so because the cost of things are going up, but people's salaries aren't going up. And so that has to be fixed somehow. And I'll tell you what, guys, if more countries that rely on the US dollar right now as their currency, if they start adopting Bitcoin and adopt, you know, if they start adopting Bitcoin and stop relying on the US dollar so much, guess what? There's less demand for the US dollar. And we know simple economics, the supply of the US dollar has gone up way off the charts. And because other countries are going through inflation as well, the US dollar currently still has pretty big demand around the world, because it's not as inflating as much as other countries. But when just think about this, in 5 years, when a bunch of countries are using Bitcoin instead of dollar, the demand will be significantly less, and that's going to create a very, very weak demand for the dollar. Okay, so let's see, what's the next topic here? We've got investors put $14 million into crypto funds last week as Bitcoin market cratered. Okay, so inflows into digital asset funds last week after 5 straight weeks out of outflows suggest investors were taking advantage of the price dip. Okay, so as the crypto markets, they suffered last week through the market's worst stretch in the past, many months. Cryptocurrency funds brought in $14.4 million of new investor money during the 7 days from January 20 to January 21st. Now, I don't know exactly. Let's see if I can read the article real quick. I don't know. This might be hedge funds. This might be like inflows. It's probably into something like Grayscale, I imagine, or hedge funds. People have open-ended funds. This obviously wouldn't be an exhaustive list because okay, so Ethereum focused funds suffered. Yeah, this is talking about things like this is talking about things like the Grayscale trust and things like that, right? It's not talking about actual VC funds, because how would they ever know about that, right? So, but nonetheless, people are definitely buying the dip, right? And here we go. So let's talk about Polkadot. My favorite layer 0. It's actually the only layer 0 protocol, but my favorite base layer protocol, Polkadot. So I've told you guys this before. Actually, for a very extensive video, if you just go back to my channel and look, for the Polkadot video, maybe I'll post it in the description below. It's very extensive, and I cover almost everything that there is to talk about Polkadot. So we had, first we had the Kusama parachain auction starting, and what that did. So Kusama and Polkadot basically are almost mirrors of each other. In fact, let me just pull up this thing so I can kind of give you. Nope, this is not it. I don't think I have it here somewhere. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's here. Nope. Okay, I don't know where it is. But anyway, Polkadot and Kusama are different in a way that Kusama was essentially built to be faster, less secure. Essentially, it's not a test net, but you can think of it as a test net. And actually, can you send me that tweet from Rand so I can talk about it, so I can clear the air up for some people. But yeah, so the first round of Polkadot parachains went live, and this has been a great success. This is a huge movement forward for Polkadot and the parachain ecosystem, because Polkadot is a layer 0, right? So I always describe it like this, right? Imagine that you some uber rich or whatever family or whatever goes out to the middle of a huge desert or whatever, and in the middle they build the infrastructure that anyone would need on a daily life. So basically they build your grocery stores, they build the post system, they build the banks, they build the transportation infrastructure, the roads, rivers, bridges, Hyperloop, whatever. They build the military to protect you and security, and then they have the governance there that you can use if you want to. And so all of this infrastructure, everything that you need to basically function and survive in a country or whatever, is there. Now, what they've done is they attach 100 different pieces of land to that central infrastructure. And what they say is, hey guys, what we're going to do is we're going to auction off every single piece of land here, and the highest bidder gets to lease the land for up to 2 years and do whatever you want on that piece of land. You can do whatever you want, and because you don't even have to pay. You don't even have to pay for the lease. All you have to do is lock up a tremendous amount of value. And so in this case, in Polkadot, a project would need to lock up a bunch of DOT. This is how the DOT token ecosystem works. It basically, a project would do a crowd loan. This is, we don't have time to get into this in the entire video, but a crowd loan is essentially where a crypto project will ask the community to help them, acquire enough DOT to stake or bond into Polkadot in order for them to get one of these pieces of land I'm talking about, aka a parachain. So, so on this piece of land or this parachain, you can do whatever you want, right? You can do whatever you want, and the nice thing about it is you don't have to worry about building all the infrastructure, right? Everybody needs security. Everybody needs food. Everybody needs electric. Everybody needs a military. Everybody needs a transportation infrastructure, and everybody should be able to communicate properly by speaking the same language. And that's one of the most important parts about Polkadot, because attach these 100 pieces of lands that attach to the central infrastructure of Polkadot, which is called the relay chain, they can communicate and interoperate natively, which means that you don't need to use insecure bridges that create vulnerabilities, right? The Poly network hack that happened early in 2021, $624 million. That was a vulnerability. These interoperability solutions, these bridges, are these things that connect and try to make two different ecosystems, two different blockchains. Let's say that you have an NFT on Cardano and an NFT on Solana, and you can use these NFTs in games. Well, even if these games want you to be able to use the NFT from the other ecosystem in their game, you can't do it natively. You can't do it natively at all. People have to try to figure out how to translate it. So there's a lot of metadata and data and NFTs and things like that. And well, Cardano's built in Haskell, and Solana's built in Rust, and Solana's adding EVM. But these are different languages, right? And if you're giving orders to somebody or instructions, imagine trying to give orders to someone who only speaks Spanish, and you're trying to give them orders in Chinese. They're not going to understand, right? So these kind of bridges that are being built in between different layer one blockchains, it's just not going to create a good user experience at all. And if we want things to be adopted, and people and projects and metaverse projects and games are going to realize this. They're going to build on Cardano and be like, damn, we fucked up. We should have gone over to, should have gone to Polkadot, because in Polkadot, you have minimum 100 layer one blockchains. Cardano's, Solana's, Terra's, all these things, all interconnected, speaking the same language, and with seamless interconnectivity. Also meaning that if I need a DEX in the application I'm building, I can just use a Kala's DEX or Moonbeam DEX or whatever. So Polkadot is absolutely the most powerful thing that's being built out there right now for base layer protocol. And this is why we have been building on Polkadot, a parachain. And it's just a matter of time before people can actually see the full potential. Like, use a bridge to do something, to try to get your USDT from Avalanche to Ethereum or BSC or something, or Polygon. That is an experience that that can leave even the most crypto OGs frustrated, right? just wait until you do some transferring across different parachains. You're going to be mind blown at how easy and seamless that experience is. I want to, and with that being said, you know, Ran brought up a really good point on his Twitter the other day. I think it was today or something like that. And he got a lot of crap comments from it because people thought he was an idiot, but he asked a very valid question actually. And so I want to clear the air and tell you why he asked this question. Let me share screen again. So yeah, okay. So here, crypto chim, mover and moonbeam. Which would you pick? Mover is the you have Moonbeam and Moon River. Yeah. So this is exactly the point that Rand was making. Let me bring it up. So Rand says, can someone explain to me why we need Dot and Kusama, why anyone would buy Moonbeam and Moon River? Serious question. So we can see here, like people thought Rand was an idiot when he asked this question, but you just didn't understand exactly what he meant. And so if we look down here, where is it? Okay, here. So I think this is from Brad. So here you have some of these things. Let me quickly. So Polkadot benefits high stability, high security, more conservative governance and upgrades, high validated rewards. What does that mean? That means that it's going to move slower. It'll be probably slightly more decentralized. It'll have probably much less downtime. It'll be more expensive. To not for your gas fees, but be more expensive. That's another thing about Polkadot and Kusama that I love. Anyone who has a parachain can control the economic model. So I can choose for my end users to pay zero gas if that's what I want to do. No other layer one, by the way, allows you to do that. And Polkadot validators will get more rewards. So what are the use cases for Polkadot? Enterprise and B2B applications, financial applications, high value applications requiring bank-like security, stability, and robustness, upgrade path for early stage applications. Upgrade path for early stage applications. Now, Kusama, low barrier to entry for parachain deployment. So basically, you're not going to have, you know, like the amount of value of Polkadot staked for Akala and I think Moonbeam or Moon River to get their Moonbeam to get their Polkadot auction slots were like billions of dollars. That's a huge, super high barrier to entry, and that's really messed up from a token economy perspective. In order to do that, they had to. So in order for, you know, you might ask, Kyle, why are people going to let them borrow their Dot or Kusama for 2 years? Well, you can lend it to them, and of course, you loan anyone anything, it has to come back with interest, and so they have to offer interest rate in their native token if you let them borrow your Dot. So it's kind of cool to do a crowd loan, because if you believe in Dot or Kusama long term, and you're just going to hold it anyway, you might as well let a project borrow it. You know, you're going to get it back in 2 years. But you're also going to get a lot of the native token. So if I do a crowd loan for Akala, I'm getting native Akala tokens at a certain APY. And usually the guys who do this first do quite high APIs. The problem with this, and I don't think people have thought this through, is that the inflation rate, if they're offering 30%, like think about this for a second, $2 billion in value at 30% APY, 30% a year, $2 billion is going to get potentially flooded into the Akala ecosystem. That's sell pressure, right? Sell pressure. It's not very smart economics. So Kusama will have a much lower barrier to entry. And as the Polkadot auction, people just want to be the first, and they're paying a lot to do that. And in my opinion, you know, potentially risking their economic model because of that. So what else about Kusama? Low bond requirements for validators and parachains, low slashing penalties, fast iteration, meaning that it can upgrade really quickly, or you know, it's that kind of Silicon Valley move quick and break things, and it's the latest technology because it acts as a test bed for Polkadot. So basically, what does it all mean? Let me finish use cases. So use cases for Kusama, early stage startup network, experimentation on new ideas, applications that don't yet require bank-like security and robustness. So obviously DeFi, you wouldn't really want to put on Kusama. Certainly not lots of value of DeFi. You certainly don't want to put a lot of value at stake because it's not going to be as secure and trusted and tried. Like there's going to be bugs on Kusama and things are going to break. And if you're okay with that, right? And you can be, right? If whatever you're building isn't going to necessarily have a tremendous amount of value at stake. Like if you're building a governance protocol or you're building even a game or whatever, like these things, it's probably okay, right? You're not going to have $3 billion of total value locked. Applications that don't yet require bank-like security and robustness and pre-production environment for Polkadot. So this is what Brad came in, blah, 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 blah. And this is the difference. Yeah, okay, so whatever. But what Rand was asking you guys, and I was wondering the exact same thing that Rand was, is why does one project have both, right? So why does Akala have Kusama and Polkadot? Why does Moonbeam have Moonriver and Moonbeam? Why does Plasm have Astar and Plasm, right? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. They're exactly the same product. They're exactly the same ecosystem. So all you're doing, if you have both, is you're dividing, you're really diluting the value of either ecosystem. Because let's say that you have a DEX, like a Kala, or a DEX being built on Moonbeam, and I'm a project, and I want to go add liquidity to my trading pairs on the DEX. Well, there's the same project, the same team built a DEX, exactly the same, that exists on Moonbeam and on Moonriver. So where do I put liquidity? I have a limited amount of liquidity I can post. Do I put it on Moonriver or do I put it on Moonbeam? You're actually, and if I put it on both, I'm just putting half the liquidity on either one, which is not as good as all the liquidity on either one, right? So the leases are much shorter on Kusama. Why? Because in my opinion, what Moonbeam should have done, what Akala should have done, what Astar should have done is they should have stayed on Kusama until the lease expires and then move your ecosystem over to Polkadot at that time, because they're both early stage projects and already they don't have a tremendous amount of demand, an economic demand, right? How do I describe the different? Okay, so now there's also something called a para-thread and a para-chain, right? So Substrate is the economic tool set that people use to build parachains. It's really awesome. Can't go into the whole thing now, but you can think of a okay, so the difference between para-threads and para-chains. Everyone's just talking about parachains right now, but Polkadot soon will have para-threads. That gives you all the same functionality as a parachain. The only difference is it's a pay-as-you-go versus a monthly or annual payment. So it's the same thing as like a cell phone, right? Like if you're going to make, if you're making 5 minutes of phone calls every single day, so it's just 5 minutes of phone calls a day, like you probably want to pay as you go, right? But if you're making hours of phone calls every single day, you're going to want the monthly plan or the annual plan, right? It's the same idea with para-threads and parachains. So, and because Polkadot is so expensive to get into, like what they should have done is they should have went and built their product, done all the bug testing, and build up a user base, economic demand, actually get real users. And then after the lease on Kusama expires, then they go to Polkadot, right? Then they have all the bugs and kinks worked out. They actually have a lot of real users, because in order for that to economically make sense, to spend billions of dollars on of other people, to have to pay that back in interest, you have to have a tremendous amount of users on your platform. Because what does it mean? If you're bonded as a parachain, you pay Polkadot 0 gas fees, nothing. On a para-thread, you don't have to bond any dot, because if you're only doing 10 transactions a day, you pay as you go, and it probably costs a couple pennies for every single transaction. But if you're doing millions of transactions a month, or probably even hundreds and hundreds of thousands, then of course you want the parachain. You want the unlimited plan, because then you can just, it makes more economic sense to do that. right? So what Rayon is asking here is a perfectly valid question that I've been wondering myself. And it's like, it confuses people. Like if a caller has a problem, what do you want to do? Where are you going to go? You're going to go, now it seems worthless. It seems worthless that they have something on, and this is on Kusama. It makes no sense whatsoever. So Rayon, I got your back here, buddy. If you guys have more questions, let me know. Anyway, guys, I got to dip out. I got a call probably 15 minutes ago or something like that. But yeah, that's what I want to tell you guys. Again, remind people that contest link is in the description for the NFT giveaway. So I just did that. And also remind people that crypto researchers apply a description. Just did that too. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Good night. Bye-bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.